But there's one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond, to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Opa Biasika and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't. You cannot. Not in a trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwukika Abiyama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Owe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not to be nobody, the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook. They can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything to make sure that you're like them. But this very IPOB, this very hardcore is not going to move. And I will tell you why we can't move.
We have tried to live in Nigeria designed by Great Britain and handed to us. We have found it difficult to live in that Nigeria. We have fought a civil war, killed so many people, and still we have the same problems reoccurring. Perhaps the time has come to revisit the very foundations of Nigeria.
Are defending him. Fulani people are defending him. But you idiots from the south, from the east, you're talking rubbish about your one Nigeria. Whereas a terrorist, a killer, a murderer is in government as a minister. His own people are the people defending him. But you are in the south attacking those who are fighting for your freedom. And you're telling me that your brains are normal. Maybe that's your one Nigeria, whereas a terrorist, a killer, a murderer is in government as a minister. His own people are the people defending him. But you are in the south attacking those who are fighting for your freedom. And you're telling me that your brains are normal. Maybe there's something in suya, maybe in kilishi, and in that cattle that they give to us to eat. There must be something fundamentally wrong with us as a people. Fundamentally wrong with us as a people. And we must confront it, and confront it we shall. These people lecturing us about no secession, you're destroying the country. You people, you Fulani idiots, you Fulani bigots, you Fulani impostors, you Fulani vagabonds are the same people that welcomed the rehabilitation of terrorists. You granted bandits, killers, murderers, and kidnappers amnesty. I want Obia not to listen. I want us to listen. I want this idiot, Sarikin Fulani of Imo State, who to listen very, very carefully. You people are fools because you cannot listen very well. The same people you're fighting for, killing your own people because of them, they are the ones rehabilitating, so they claim, putting the army that we have today. Somebody might come and say, you have given the order that the police and the army should be attacked. All those idiots. Some of you fools who cannot reason, we are not attacking any police. We are attacking the terrorists that they brought into the police and into the army. They are the ones killing our people. We must defend ourselves. You fools cannot reason very well. We are not fighting any standing or legally, properly constituted army or police. These are the same Fulani terrorists, murderers and killers. The same people that went in, in Damatru or wherever it is, killing and slaughtering Christians in droves. You fools that cannot reason. The same Boko Haram that has been killing, the same Fulani terrorists have been killing people. They are the ones now in the army. Did you not see them? Recruit them into the army? You're telling me we shouldn't fight them? These are terrorists in police uniform and army uniform. You're saying we should not fight them? Is that what you're saying? Are you that foolish? Are you that stupid? This same Fulani pontificating about peace and unity and anti-secession whatever garbage that they are pouring out of their useless, stinking Janjaweed mouths. These same idiots, these same fools are the ones that rehabilitated Boko Haram. So they claim. These fools are the ones that granted amnesty to bandits. Now, let me surprise all of you. Surprise, surprise. Those that are giving amnesty to are Fulani terrorists, Fulani bandits, Fulani kidnappers, Fulani headsmen who are murderers and land-grabbing urchins. These are the people that are giving amnesty to. You people should reason. You zoo animals called Nigerians, reason for once. Ndiara. The hypocrisy in Fulani, their hypocrisy is astonishing. Hypocrites. Fulani, who is responsible for the state of almost anarchy in the zoo, who is responsible for the hopelessness of the security framework of the zoo, Fulani, who is responsible for insecurity, Fulani, who are the bandits, Fulani, who are the terrorists in the zoo, Fulani, which people are going about slaughtering and taking over other people's farmlands. It is you. You people are the problem. Unfortunately, some idiots from the south cannot see it. You wanted to show us that you know how to write grammar, writing rubbish about one Nigeria. You are defending something that's indefensible. Indefensible. Indefensible, you fools. Some smelly rats, some smelly garbage, gutter, alamajiri, gutter. The lowest of the low. If it's one of those of their fools talking, I will even understand. From the gutter. Not contributed one single thing to the advancement of the zoo. Not one single contribution has the Fulani ever made. Tell me one national contribution that the Fulani has ever made to the advancement of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Just name one thing, absolutely nothing. They want power. Power and control of oil and gas. That's all they need. That's all they want. So they can run your lives for you and control your destiny. And you're not ashamed of yourself to claim that you're educated.
Because what I am saying on Abumanyamini, our people are lame. They are weak. I am struggling to count how many men there are in Biafra land. There are no more men left. Weak, docile, and imbecilic. Weak. I don't know how we can take such people to war. I don't know how we can take men who are not men into battle and win. I am ashamed. Very, very ashamed. Nonetheless, we must preach this very gospel because man did not ask us to come. Chukwu Abiyama in heaven mandated that we should come. If not, that I was called to do this very work, I will not speak to any of you anymore. But Chukwu Abiyama said this very gospel must be preached, and we must preach it. I have prayed since yesterday up until now. My request is very simple. The same prayer I made in secret, I will make out here in the open. Chukwu Abiyama biko. Since it is your intention that your kingdom will be restored upon this very earth, I need men. I need men. I did not say boys. I said I need men. Those of them that you created to restore your kingdom, they should come forward now, not tomorrow, not next year. Chukwu Abiyama. You must bring them now. I did not say tomorrow. Because the insult is too much. It is beyond what any human being can endure. We want to go and get Biafra, or we die in the process, because we are better off dead than witness some of this nonsense going on. The level of insult is beyond what any decent human being can tolerate. They bring their cattle into our land. They desecrate our land. They kill us in the presence of our families and nobody does anything about it. And when the police attend, the police sit idly by as people are being killed by not a multitude of people. Only 4. Only 4 Awasa people can sack an entire village in Biafra land, and we call ourselves men. No, we are not men. Until we redeem our honor. Until we look at integrity and say, we must have a part of it. Until then, to be honest with you. This is Radio Biafra. Now is the time to come forward. I did not say tomorrow. Now, tonight, is the time to come forward. 100 of us, and then we march. 100 and we march. The rest can come later if they want to. I am tired of broadcasting. I want to fight for my country. I want to carry arms to defend the honor and integrity of my country. I want to avenge the death of 6 million people. I want Biafra to stand as a beacon of hope, freedom, and liberty in black world. I want Biafra to stand as a testament to the glory of heaven upon the face of this very earth. I want Biafra to stand because my obligation to the dead outweigh that which I owe to the living. That is why Biafra will stand, and Biafra will come. 100 men, that's all. And we march. The rest can come later on. I no longer give a damn. The disgrace and the insult is too much. We must go and meet our enemies even if we have only machete and hoes. It is far more better for us to go and meet them and die with a semblance of dignity than with this very humiliation which we encounter every blessed day. We must assemble as quickly as possible.
ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị kunye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gịnị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọkwa onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọbụla anyị mara aka n'ime ha si na ka ha gaa n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm okwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwe kwesịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwe kwesịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi wee bụ ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị. Akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke, akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba, nna nke dị nsọ, onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro bi na anyị bụ ụmụ gị. Bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị, bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe, bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ, bịa ka iwe tịtụ ozu. Ọ bụ ogo nwa memilere Goliat, Chineke nna nke igwe wee memile Fero, sikwa otu a mee ka Fero gbagụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị IPOB ka o wee taa akwụkwọ iguni ọtọ ọzọ. Ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume. Ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ. Ọ bụ ogo nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa, nwe onye ọbụla kere gị, nweghị mmalite, nweghị ọgwụgwụ, kama anyị onwe anyị bụ anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie, kama mara akwa na okwu gị na-anọgide gị ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi, anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ, bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na abụghị n'ọnwụ, bịa ka iwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe, bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị, bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa, ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome, fellow Biafrans. Welcome, lovers of freedom. Welcome, friends of Biafra. Welcome, even the enemies of Biafra. All of you are welcome to this evening program here on IPOB Western Cape South African Media, aka IPOB Western Cape Media TV. I welcome you in the name of Chukwu Okikabema Premihenina. You know, this is our second program for today. We had our program in the morning. Today, this evening, we are here again to continue where we stopped. Like I always say, as far as zoo is concerned, you can never run out of information because it is flowing like a river. Things to say, things to discuss, things to look into, abomination, impunities, going on in the zoo in minutes by minute, every day, non-stop. So I welcome you, children of Chukwu Okikabema, Omu Chineke. And as I welcome you, I want you to also welcome others. Welcome your friends, welcome your relatives, welcome the lovers of freedom anywhere you can find them. Because here we are preaching nothing but the truth. We are preaching nothing but freedom. Freedom is a universal language. And we are preaching freedom. So it does not have boundary. What we are doing here is for everyone that love freedom. Unless those that are oppressors who does not want their secrets to be revealed. But if you are a lover of freedom, whatever we are doing here concerns you. So I welcome you, and I will always ask you to share our program, like our program, comment on our live program. It is very, very important. I keep lamenting every day the need for us to endeavor to share our programs. If you like or if you love what we are doing, if this program is educative to you, if you think we have something to offer, it is very, very, very important that you share so that others who does not know about us may partake in this. So I welcome you, lovers of freedom, wherever you are. As you know, this is IPOB Western Cape South Africa Media, aka IPOB Media, Western Cape Media TV. Here we speak nothing but the truth. We are without fear or favor. We are fearless before our enemies. We are not here to represent any individual, but to represent and to defend our fatherland, Biafra, and for us, it is Biafra today, tomorrow, and forever. If you are offended by our resolve, we have no apologies for that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB worldwide, and his position is incontestable. IPOB is here to restore Biafra, and we are not going to be swayed until Biafra is restored. Welcome once again to IPOB Western Cape South Africa Media, saying it the way it is. We shall continue to do the needful, shall continue to expose the enemies of our struggle. We shall continue to expose Nigeria. We shall continue to paint the image of Nigeria black, because that is exactly what it is. We shall continue to call out Nigerians. We shall continue to expose a terrorist country as Nigeria. So join us in this wagon and let us push this narrative. Because without us doing what we are doing, the enemies would have upper hand. If you understand the importance of media, if you understand it, you will share our program, you will share it, you will make sure that people identifies with this platform, because indeed we are trying all our best to promote the message of freedom. We are trying all our best to preach the gospel of freedom, gospel of Biafra, and the lowest you can do is to help to share the program, so that those who does not know about us may know that we exist. So I encourage you to continue to share our program and continue to join us anytime we are live. We are not afraid of anybody, and we will never be. Here we have no permanent friends, neither we do have permanent enemies. We speak the truth at all times, irrespective of the price. We are willing to pay the price for saying the truth or speaking the truth. So I bring you greetings, fellow Biafrans, from my coordinator, Mazi Nnamdi, Western Cape IPOB Zone representative. I welcome you, and I also bring you greetings from the 9 coordinators here in IPOB Western Cape Zone. I also bring you greetings from all the executive of IPOB Western Cape Zone. And remember also that in this part of the world, we are willing and we are bent on following the dictates, the directive of IPOB Code of Conduct, because without IPOB Code of Conduct, we cannot be doing what we are doing. For IPOB Code of Conduct gives us the power to expose impunity. IPOB Code of Conduct gives us the power to know who is in the wrong and who is on the right. So I want you to know that without IPOB Code of Conduct, we won't be able to do what we are doing. And we believe that IPOB Code of Conduct is the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu we are seeing. I have said it before, and I will continue to say it. The reason IPOB is facing this turbulence is because the so-called IPOB family members does not adhere to IPOB Code of Conduct. They don't even understand that there exists a piece of documents called IPOB Code of Conduct. They have never seen it. They have never opened it. They only hear that IPOB have a code of conduct, but they are not even willing to open it and read it to understand their stance on this struggle. But here in IPOB Western Cape, we make it as a duty that everyone must know and acknowledge IPOB Code of Conduct. And that is why we excel above other ones. Go to the whole IPOB family worldwide. You never see a zone that have a media, but IPOB Western Cape have a media platform. Go. There is no IPOB zone in the whole world that have a workable media platform as active as our own here in IPOB Western Cape. We are not boastful, but we are only stating the obvious. I am proud of my coordinator. I am proud of every man who has supported us in this battle, because it is not easy, truth be told. IPOB Western Cape zone is, they are commendable. We should commend them. Their jobs, their works are commendable, and they should be commended, because we are, if every zone in this IPOB family could borrow leave from IPOB Western Cape zone, we would have been all over the internet, would have been, doing greater works than we are doing today. Because as you already know, Radio Biafra is completely dead. Radio Biafra is dead but alive. Radio Biafra is a shadow of its former self. Nothing is happening there. So if all the other zones could borrow leaves from what we are doing here in this part of the world, IPOB would have been pushing this the struggle further than we are doing today. But unfortunately, to your tent, O Israel, and it is quite unfortunate that we told this part in this struggle. After the kidnap and the extraordinary rendition of our leader, so many comrades, so many people stepped back. And when you looked at the logic behind their lukewarmness and their stepping back from the struggle, you would like ask yourself, how would Mazen Kano survive this? You stepping backward, is it in favor or against Mazen Kano? Why would you step backward? Why would you pause instead of you to continue to push? You decided to pause and backpedal. Why? Mazen Kano cannot fight alone. He needs you to be fighting alongside him. He needs your financial support, because the legal teams are being paid with money. They are not doing a charity work. He need you to push the narrative. He need you to continue to bring to the notice of the world the impunity, the torture that he is going through, the dehumanization treatment that the Zoological Republic is giving to him. He wants you to alert the world of everything that he's suffering in Zoological Republic. But today, you are not doing that. Rather, you have went back to your house and closed the door, and there you are. That is one of those things that whenever I remember them, I shake my head, because no human being will pray to meet people like those in IPOB that after the kidnapping of our leader, they stepped back. Because if we call ourselves comrade, we should be able to stand together. We should be able to stand behind our leader. We're not supposed to go back home and lock up. That is bad. That is wrong. Today, Elijah Mako is doing everything to make sure that the world, that the British government hears the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They intervene in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are doing he is doing the thing that Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Michael Ezekome failed, could not do for the past 2.5 years. Now that Barrister Aloy Ejimakor has taken over is effectively into the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is trying to push. He's trying to do everything within his power to make sure that those who are supposed to hear the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hears it, and those who are supposed to intervene in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu intervene. That is exactly what we are saying. All hands must be on deck. If we want our leader to be saved, if we want our leader to come out from wherever he is today alive, all hands must be on deck. We all must join our hands together and push. If you know where you can, if you fall in, you push from there. If you fall in sharing our programs, you do. If you fall in whatever if you are financially capable, you do so. Whatever you can do to sustain this struggle, you do it. Barrister Aloy Ejimakor is doing everything within his power, his circle, to choose that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets justice. Though we know that it is not possible for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get justice in the Zonocho Republic, but we are going to do everything within our strength to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets justice wherever it could come from. It is high time we begin to face reality. Nigeria is determined. I want to read something for you so that you understand that this is not just Nigeria is not joking. You are the one who is joking. You call yourself IPOB, but you don't understand what you are up to. You said you are a freedom fighter, but you joke. You are joking with the freedom. You don't even understand what fighting for freedom is all about. You think it is only by coming out on social media to say I am a freedom fighter. Now, if you remember the past days now, there is a statement coming from Femi Adesina, the former media publicity for former president of Nigeria, late Muhammad Buhari. Now, the other time in this program, I was in this program and Chukwu Okiabiama dropped something in my mind and I began to say it. I said, for the first time, I said, the initial plan was not to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and kept him alive. The initial plan the Buhari government had then was to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, murder him, and throw his body into the bush. But by providence, Chukwu Obiama entered those corrupt Kenya agents who refused. Those Kenya agents refused that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be killed in their country. Hence, Nigerian government decided to extraordinary rendition him back to Nigeria. And today, after 2.5 years, some revelations begin to come out. Now, I want to read something from you, a very short one for that matter. Now, listen to me, listen to this. Femi Adesina, a former special advisor on media and publicity to ex-president Muhammadu Buhari, has disclosed that the then president opted for the rendition of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, when his administration could have assassinated him. In his book titled Reflections of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity 2015 to 2023, which was recently launched in Abuja, Adesina disclosed Adesina said chose to spare Kanu's life when his government could have killed him. I think they wanted to say Buhari chose to spare, but it is just an error. Buhari chose to spare Kanu's life when his government could have killed him. The secessionist leader has been agitating for the separate state of Biafra. According to the former presidential aide, Buhari disclosed during a meeting he had with a delegation of some Igbo elders who had pleaded for the release of Kanu following his extraordinary rendition and detention in custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, in Abuja. In the past 6 years, I have developed a system in which I don't interfere with the judiciary. Adesina quoted Buhari as saying, "That was why in the case of Kanu, I said the best was to subject him to the system. Let him make his case in court instead of giving a terrible impression of the country from outside. I feel it is a favor to give him Kanu that opportunity. Government could have mobilized to eliminate him where he was, but we did not do that." Following his rendition from Kenya in June 2021, Kanu has faced trial for terrorism-related charges. Did you hear that? Now, let me tell you something. That of Kenya was the second attempt on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life. The first attempt on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life was in 2017 in Afaruku Ibeku, when Nigerian government under the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari sent military to his home, where they end up killing 28 men in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's compound. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu only escaped by providence. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped because those 28 men chose to put their lives in his place. Those 28 men that fell in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house in 2017 could have chosen to run away from danger while their leader is murdered, but they chose to give their life. They chose to defend their leader with their lives, and indeed they did it. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life was spared. That was the first attempt on his life by late President Muhammadu Buhari. So when that attempt failed, Mazen Kanu escaped and ran away. Another opportunity came when Mazen Kanu surfaced in Kenya. That was another opportunity that presented itself before the late Muhammad Buhari's government. And when that happened, they considered assassination, which you just heard now. And it will interest you to know that why would Muhammad Buhari, a government, consider assassinating another a freedom fighter or a political activist? Why? Why would Muhammad Buhari's government consider assassinating a citizen of their so-called country? Why? It is a terrorist country, with a terrorist government. The attempt in Mazen Kanu's life was in 2017. The second one was in 2021. But in all this, they failed. They failed because Chukwuemeka Abbiama is with Mazen Kanu. He was not even afraid. You know, so I heard some people say they are afraid to start a war in Nigeria. No, you are getting it wrong. They are not. Why do you think they care? They don't care. They are afraid of who? Afraid of you. You that does not know your left from your right. How would you have fought when immediately Mazen Kanu was kidnapped? You turned around to destroy IPOB. I saw a tweet coming from Tina Sanworu where he said, the reason Nigerian government was afraid to assassinate Mazen Kanu in Kenya was because they were afraid that it's going to cause endless war. Which endless war? With who? With who? Are you the one, Tina Sanworu, are you the one to lead the war? What is that? What convinced? Okay, you are waiting for them to kill Mazen Kanu before you can do something. We would have understood that if they have succeeded in killing Mazen, it would have been war. If you are doing something, but now you're doing nothing. So what impression are you? Why are you creating the impression that if Mazen Kanu was killed, it would have been an endless war? Endless war with who? Who are you the one to lead it, from Kuwait or from wherever you are today? You can't even Chinchina Sanworu, nobody knows who he is. He can't even come out and show who he is, but he claims to be a leader. You are leading people who does not know who you are. You are a leader of Biafra, but the Biafran people you are leading does not know you. But you come on social media to talk rubbish. We should be grateful for Chukwuemeka Abbiama, who spared Mazen Kanu, not that jargons that Tina Sanworu was writing on his social media page. Mazen Kanu's life was spared in Kenya because Chukwuemeka Abbiama does not want shame to be on his name. He protected and saved Mazen Kanu's life because what these people wanted was to kill Mazen Kanu. You were here when Buhari said his government even at the point they considered assassinating Mazen Kanu, and you are coming here to tell me that they were afraid. Afraid of who? They are not afraid of you. You don't have what it takes. So I just want Biafrans to understand that our leader is alive today because Chukwuemeka Abbiama said he should be alive. Not because of one person who is making noise on Radio Biafra. Now, Barrister Ejimako wrote to British Parliament. He wrote to them and he told them to intervene in this case. They have kept quiet enough. Barrister Oloyejimako is telling the British Parliament to come for the aid of their citizen. They have kept quiet, silent long enough. I know that this is just one of those things because we know that Britain can never intervene. We know. They have proven it not once, not twice. They have always proven it that they are not interested in what Mazi Kanu is going through, because you know why? Because they are directly involved in what Mazi Kanu is passing through. They are directly involved. It does not take them anything to call Nigeria out. It does not take them anything to call Nigeria out. But they chose to toe the path of the ostrich. They buried their head on the ground. They understood what they are. They understood the game they are playing. But we must, as it is, we must use every weapon within our arsenal to fight for this. And Barrister Oloyejimako is exploring all. And we shall continue to encourage him for what the good job he is doing. Now, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer drags Nigerian government before British Parliament. Once IPOB leader repatriated to UK. Oloyejimako, the special counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has dragged the Nigerian government before the British House of Lords over the detention and the prosecution of the agitator. Oloyejimako, in a petition to the British House of Lords, calls for intervention in the torture, rendition, and incarceration of Kanu by Nigerian government. He urged the British Parliament to sanction the Nigerian government if it fails to release Kanu unconditionally and repatriate him to the United Kingdom. The Special Counsel made the appeal in a petition to the International Relations and Defense Committee of the House of Lords. Ejimako in the petition stressed that Kanu is a British citizen. Parts of the petition signed by Ejimako reads, additionally, Mr. Kanu is gravely ill with 3 life-threatening conditions, namely a serious heart condition, hypertension, and low potassium levels. These are the three most dangerous situations our leader is into. Our leader has a heart condition. Our leader is suffering from hypertension and low potassium level. These are very dangerous illnesses. Very dangerous illnesses. And when you think about these things, you wonder. But this man is passing through all this. But even in this, he insists, in his life-threatening, he insists that Biafra must be freed. He does not want to compromise. He does not want to think or reason that if his life ends now, he could not partake on anything anymore. Rather, he chose to give his life for us to be free. And another thing you ask yourself, why would people, those who are supposed to be fighting with him, why would they turn his situation to a politics or a means of making money? Like we witnessed in the life of Chibuze Guatu, those in the DOS, who has turned the situation of Mazi Kanu as a means of making money, as means of interacting and mixing up with politicians. Mazi Kanu is suffering a very dangerous illnesses. One of them is heart failure. Heart condition. He has a heart condition, which could lead to anything. When somebody has heart condition, it could lead to heart failure. It could lead to anything. It's bleeding in the heart. It could lead to anything, which is expressway to death. He's suffering from hypertension. He's suffering from low potassium level. These are most dangerous, and this has been going on it has been there all this while. They have been talking about it. They have been, the legal team has been hammering on these things. The legal team have been calling on Nigeria, okay, release him on medical ground. Because if he dies, who is going to stand for this trial you are preparing for? So Alain Ejimakor pointed it out to the British House of Lords. Now I will continue. All of these serious conditions demand specialist medical care and interventions that are not available at the facility where he is being detained, or even in Nigeria as a whole. And the government of Nigeria is fully aware of this. You see, they don't even, in the whole Nigeria, they don't have the facility to manage these things. They don't have a facility to manage the health condition of our leader. The Nigerian government does not have it in the whole Nigeria. There is nowhere they have the facilities to manage the condition of our leader. And they don't want to let him go. They want to keep him there until the day he will die. And someone is coming to write to you that the reason the Nigerian government does not want kill Mazi Kanu is because they don't want, they know that killing Mazi Kanu will warrant to endless war. Endless war with who? But they are killing him. He is alive today because Chukwu Okeabiama decided to sustain him, not because of your effort or anything you are doing, not because the Nigerian government has not tried everything to kill him. They have tried everything, they have poisoned him, they have done everything. The only thing, in fact, they have tried to strangle him. They subjected him under a severe torture, and continuously they are even in this medical condition. Even in these illnesses that our leader is passing through, they still submit him under torture. How would a normal human being survive all these things? And all you could do is to be playing politics with all these things. It's quite unfortunate. I will continue. Urgently intervene with His Majesty's government, strongly urging it to promptly make demand on the government of Nigeria to unconditionally release Mazi Kanu from detention and repatriate him to the United Kingdom, and to levy sanctions against the government of Nigeria if it fails to comply within a reasonable time. It is pertinent to stress the point that extraordinary rendition inherently destroys every prospect for a fair trial in the jurisdiction that levied the rendition. You know, this was one of the things I was saying. How can Nigeria give Mazen Kanu fair trial when they kidnapped him? And you heard where the Supreme Court validated his kidnap. So how do you expect Mazen Kanu to get free and fair trial in Nigeria? You can't get fair trial in Nigeria. We know it, and we continue to say it, that Nigerian government can never give Mazen Kanu fair trial, because for the singular fact that they went to kidnap Mazen Kanu has destroyed every belief that they are going to give him fair trial. Because what they did now is to get him by all means. The reason they went after him the way they went after him was because they are convinced already that they are going to put him in jail permanently, or they are going to kill him. So Nigerian government are not willing, and they will never give Mazen Kanu fair trial in Nigeria. Hence, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor is asking that Nigeria should release him and repatriate him to UK. If they are serious with this case, they should come to UK to subject him to trial. Let me continue reading. And UK courts have held in a plethora of cases that extraordinary rendition creates a barrier to the trial of a suspect. This was precisely the reason the United Kingdom had in 1984 denied Nigeria's former application to extradite Umar Dikko after his aborted extraordinary rendition from the UK. In our humble view, Mr. Kanu's is no different, except that his case bears more equities because of his British nationality, as compared to Mr. Dikko, who was not a British citizen. Additionally, extraordinary rendition is by itself a form of torture that should shock the conscience of the parliament, especially when considered together with the actual physical torture levied on Mr. Kanu by agents of the government of Nigeria in Kenya, and the solitary confinement to which Mr. Kanu has been subjected to in Nigeria since June 2021. It is settled that torturing a British citizen overseas triggers the universal criminal jurisdiction of British courts. In alternative to above, your lordships are prayed to promptly intervene with His Majesty's government, strongly urging it to make binding proposal to the government of Nigeria to agree to conduct Mr. Kanu's trial in the United Kingdom. In addition to the fact that all the charges leveled against Mr. Kanu by government of Nigeria are alleged to have been committed by him from British soil, there are other legal reasons why Mr. Kanu should be tried in the UK rather than Nigeria. These reasons include the following: nationality and citizenship. Mr. Kanu is a dual citizen of Nigeria and the United Kingdom. As a British citizen, he has the right to seek legal protection from the UK government, which includes demanding that the UK be the venue for his trial. Secondly, human rights concerns. There are genuine concerns about human rights situation and the treatment of defendants in Nigeria. Given Mr. Kanu's British citizen, he would be more likely to receive a fair trial and be treated in accordance with international human rights standards if the trial is held in UK. Sure. Then number 3, diplomatic considerations. The UK and Nigeria have a history of good diplomatic relations. Thus, the UK should have an interest in ensuring that one of its citizens receive fair treatment in a criminal trial not conducted in Nigeria but in UK. Number 4, security and safety. We have revealed concerns about the security and safety of Mr. Kanu, including particularly potential threats to his life in Nigeria. Evidence by government of Nigeria military operations against Mr. Kanu's house in 2017, the extraordinary nation in 2021, the physical torture in Kenya, and the persistent solitary confinement in Nigeria. These are concerns, security concerns. That exactly means that Mazi Kanu's life is on a constant threat as far as he remains in Nigeria. And the question is, how long could he continue to take this torture? How long? How long do you think Mazi Kanu can take this longer? How long do you think that Mazi Kanu can continue to absorb these things into his body? He's a human being. We need urgent intervention in the case of Mazi Kanu. Mazi Kanu need urgent intervention before it is too late. He is not a machine. He's a human being. It is blood and flesh. How long? How much longer could he stand this? How much longer could Mazi Kanu stand all these things? How long? He is kept in a solitary confinement. Do you understand what it means to be in a place of solitary confinement? He is locked out. He doesn't see anybody. He is always alone in a tiny cell. There is no light. There is nothing inside wherever he is. It is darkness. He does not know when it is 1, 2, 3 p.m. or a.m. All the time is the same. The only time he knows that since that day the daytime has come is when they come to open the cell for him to come out at least for 30 minutes. And the rest of the 23.30 minutes of the day, he stays indoor in a dark room, in a tiny cell, in a under constant torture. How long? All you want us to do is calm down. When we talk, you call us names. When we do things to expose the evil, you term us bad people. But look at what Barrister Ejimako is listing here. Can you be in that condition? Can you survive it? Is Mazi Kanu not a human being like you? Some of them are nurturing a political ambition in Nigeria. Some of them have future in Nigeria. They still have future in Nigeria. So they don't care what Mazi Kanu is passing through there. He can die there or they care. But they will come and tell you that if anything happens to Mazi Kanu, they are going to do this, they are going to do that. But the one they promised you after 2015, after 2023, December 15 court case, if Mazi Kanu were not released, he's not released, they're going to do this, do that, do that. They showcase toothless ESN, and people think that they have anything. Today, 1 month and days after, they don't even talk about Mazi Kanu anymore. I mean, the 2015, I mean, December 23, I mean, December 15th promise they made to Biafrans. Let me continue reading. Number what? Is number 5. Fair trial, / political interference. There are concerns about political interference in the legal process in Nigeria. A trial in the UK should mitigate these concerns, as well as ensure that the legal proceedings are fair and free from undue political influence. There is also every likelihood, as has happened before, that government of Nigeria will not abide by acquittal of Mr. Kanu by a Nigerian court. In alternative to paragraph 2 above, for the same reason stated therein, the parliament may intervene with His Majesty's government, urging it to make binding proposal to the government of Nigeria to agree to conduct Mr. Kanu's trial in a mutual agreement neutral third country other than Nigeria and the UK, as was done in the Lockerbie trial of Libya National. Esteemed members of House of Lords, our decision to lay this petition before you was propelled by the undue levity with which His Majesty's government has so far handled this matter. Mr. Kanu believes that he has not been accorded the full legal and diplomatic protections he is entitled to as a bona fide British subject. We trust, therefore, that this petition will be given the most urgent and expeditious attention and due consideration by the House of Lords. This is it. It is needless to say that the British government has failed woefully in mitigating in this case. They have failed woefully, and it is not far-fetched. The only reason is because they are directly involved in what Mazi Kanu in Mazi Kanu's predicament. They are directly involved. I heard by Saloj Marco suggesting that if they don't want to bring Mazi Kanu's case and try him in UK and as he is suggesting, they could choose a third country that is not Nigeria and UK, and they may choose anywhere. The only reason we are running away from Nigeria is because we know that he will never get fair justice in Nigeria. Never get fair justice in Nigeria. They have proven beyond every reasonable doubt that they are not going to obey their court order. If the court acquits Mazi Kanu, the Nigerian government will not release him. They have shown it, they have proven that beyond every reasonable doubt that they are not going to obey anything. They have intention that Mazi Kanu must be condemned whichever way. So, I hope that British government is going to listen and intervene in this, this time around. I hope so. I hope that Mazi Kanu should get British intervention in his case as a British citizen. I know. I hope so. But I doubt it. But let us continue to be positive in everything that we are doing. We shall continue to be positive. We shall remain positive. So if British government could listen to this and intervene in this case, we are grateful to them, but we doubt it. So now, that being said, I'm going to show you something. You know, the Zoological Republic has become a banana republic. A banana republic in the sense that terrorists are in power in the Zoological Republic. The terrorists are in power. They are the ones running the affairs, the day-to-day affairs in Nigeria. The only thing that you have in Nigeria is a caretaker president, which is Tinubu. Tinubu is, let me tell you something. Tinubu does not understand the mess he is into. He thought that he could do anything. He thought he could please the Fulanis. He thought he could displease the Biafrans and to please the Fulanis. But today, he is receiving the pressure. Terrorists are all over this. You know, during the time of Muhammad Buhari, they had free movement. They were busy taking strategic positions, points, you know. They were busy making moves, positioning themselves. They surrendered Abuja already. Abuja is being surrendered as it is at this moment. By the events of few weeks, few days, you'll be able to agree with me that Abuja is gone. You are not even safe in Abuja. That is the same Abuja that Tinubu lives. I know that very soon he's going to run away from Abuja. He's going to go to Lagos. You see it. Tinubu is going to leave us. He's going to run and go down to Lagos, and he will be from there. Even the Lagos that he's running to is also surrendered. The terrorists are having a field day. They are no more hidden. The military commands are directly involved. They are all sponsors of Boko Haram, bandits, and so on and so forth. When we were telling them, when Mazan Khan was telling them, they were reluctant. They were like, oh, because you want Biafra, now you are framing things up. Now, is Mazan Khan still framing things up? The Nigerian government is helpless because terrorists is in power. Terrorists are all over the cities, major cities in Nigeria. Nobody is safe in Nigeria anymore. The case is so severe that even the politicians are afraid. The same way they have securities, but they are still afraid. That is the story. That is the new development in the zoo. I will read I'm going to be reading a news that broke this afternoon to you. But before I do that, I want to play a video first so that you get it. I want to play a video to you. This one, let me show you something. Let me show you this video. Listen. Watch.
Mugune. Komna. Ura ci da gashi. Muna hauki ne kaga kan gani idan wannan tsohon fara wallan Allah ta bunna kai ka bari wannan jihar da kai kago ai ya kalle ka ba ka san mu lahara ba beli wallahi bai samu abu bai samu sauki wannan shege ga kul dan gyara aikin ka kasa ne
You see those men? They are not police and they are not military. They are terrorists. The video you just watched were terrorists, and they made that video themselves. And after making that video, they posted it on social media. They were not hiding their faces. They were displaying their strength, which is the guns. You can see how sophisticated they are. You can see the machine guns. You can see the arms they have. And you will wonder how on earth, where are they getting all these things from? You will know today where they got all these things from. But before I go there, there's another video I want to play to you. I want to listen to this man, and you will begin to understand the mess Nigerians are into. Delay is dangerous in Nigeria. So listen to this video.
Well, I think this is a classic moral problem, moral dilemma. I mean, it brings back the notion of better red than dead in the days of the nuclear armament build-up and the communism, and then notable British philosopher Bertrand Russell talked about better red than dead. So he says it's better we become all communists than to die. And the people say better dead than red. And so that was a big debate then. Essentially, the moral crisis here is when we pay ransom, especially the way it's being done on social media, mobilizing funds, and these terrorists who now are bandits and kidnappers, basically, but they're terrorists, foremost, are also keeping an eye on the social media. It's an incentive. It fits into the cottage industry of kidnapping and these criminal actions. And so by funding this operation, which could be also used for terrorism. So these guys come and carry out these operations, kill some, make money, rebuild their armament. So you are actually helping a dangerous industry to thrive. But at the same time, the meek of human kindness means that we just can't resist the urge to help out. I mean, you have a family member trapped in that very terrible situation, and then you need to, look for money and get him or her out. I think the government should focus more on what it should do. I mean, this is really pathetic. We have this crisis in Kaduna, Kaduna-Abuja Road, and any government that was thinking proactive will know that Abuja will soon be infiltrated. So what has government done? Instead of charging family members not to contribute money or charitable Nigerians not to contribute money for those who are held in captivity, think more around what government should do. Now, government has started deploying into the forest. They didn't do this all these days. Report we have shows that even the first attack happened and the police could not follow them into the forest because they didn't have lantern, they didn't have light. The DSS had to come with light much later. Again, the brigade of guards had to request for funding for fuel. The chairman of Buhari government had to get that about 800,000 to fuel the operational vehicles for brigade of guards to even launch out. And those who go into this forest are being paid about 4,000 naira. So instead of government spending 160 million to buy cars for senators and legislators who probably do nothing, why don't we have the infrastructure, the planning, the structure to deploy and save these people before they are captured or even immediately after they are kidnapped? So I think that this is a massive failure of government. We should have known that Abuja is going to be a target. Yeah, I mean, these are terrorists who operate from Kaduna and who come in and take opportunistic raid on satellite towns and take people captive and kill some. I mean, those killings are basically to force out payments. The whole idea is to carry money, 700 million, go into the forest, buy arms, and then get ready to fight the government continually. So for me, yes, it fits into the industry, unfortunately. But instead of government telling people, don't fund release of your loved ones, they should be focusing on how do we get these people out, clear these guys. If you look at the pattern, it's just one group that's doing all this. And the problem is that today there's no structure on ground to deter, prevent, and counter these criminals even before they operate. And we're talking about giving 4,000 to people to go into the forest. We're talking about Brigade of Guard requesting for 800,000 to fund to fuel their vehicle, operational vehicle. No such plans, and it's not that the minister has now agreed that they're going to fund the area councils and all the chairmen to be able to fund them for these operations. We're talking about a country like Nigeria where we are spending billions for travel, we are spending billions to fund, the lifestyle, the confidence of government. We can't fund, ready to deploy vehicles or operations to deal with terrorists when they attack. These are not sophisticated criminals. These are not sophisticated arms. We're not talking about state-of-the-art, invasion. We're talking about very rudimentary criminality that could be managed with serious structured engagement. So what this tells us is that really we're not doing governance. Too much ceremony. At that moment, the print was witnessing the second time of Hope Uzodinma. The Minister of FCT was in Port Harcourt campaigning. It took 4 or 5 days before we're now seeing reaction to deploy men and material into the forest to go after these criminals. So I think the narrative should not be stop crowdsourcing funding. Yes, the economics of it is very clear. It fits into this industry. But what can helpless people who are trapped, who have nobody to look to, who have no area government working, FCT is not working, the federal government is not working in this regard. I mean, this is really pathetic. It's an insult on families that really have nobody to go to and are being dealt with these tragedies.
Now you are welcome back. You see, this man, he has spoken as a zoo he is. Because you were busy talking down on this man. I just played a video for you right now. You saw the military weapon that these guys have. And this man is telling you that they are not even sophisticated. I don't know what he meant by, is that when they have fighter jets and armored tank that you know that they are sophisticated? Those guys has a very powerful military weapons. And the question should be, who is supplying them with these weapons? Who are the people supplying the military weapons, military rifles, Who are the people supplying them all these sophisticated weapons they brandish around about in Nigeria, using it to intimidate people, to kidnap people, and do other things? You talk about giving people 4,000. 4,000, who are these people? Are they military? Or they are citizens? I mean, they are civilians. Where are the military? Where are the military that is going down to Biafra land, to where there is nothing, to intimidate, kill, and maim our people? You lack personnel in the north, but in our land, where there is not, where nothing is happening, you are everywhere. But in this aspect, you are paying 4,000 naira to the gullible citizens, I mean civilians, to go and die. So shameful. They don't even have fuel in their car. They had to. Oh, what kind of country is that? And this man is still talking about Abuja being infiltrated. Abuja that has been infiltrated already. Abuja is already down. Abuja is falling. You are still saying that very soon Abuja will be infiltrated. This, I don't know. This zoological republic people, I don't understand. How do you mean? Abuja is already surrendered. The people are in Abuja already, inside Abuja, in all these Asokoro, all these places in, that the politicians are staying. They are there, terrorists are there. You're talking about soon they will infiltrate. Wait until they come to that Arise station and kidnap you. That is when you know that they have surrendered Abuja. They are not trying to. They have surrendered Abuja. They are kidnapping people inside Abuja, and you are still talking about sometime soon they will infiltrate. They are kidnapping people on daily basis. Zoological Republic. Now, you just heard what this man was saying. Now I want to. There is an update this evening. The update is about the sponsors of the sponsors of this Boko Haram, those terrorist herdsmen and their sister terrorists. Now, a news broke today, January 22, 2024. Boko Haram sponsors have links with Nigerian military. Army general forcibly retired after 64 days detention, revealed in letter to President Tinubu. You know, President Tinubu is helpless. The point is that these guys don't understand. I said it here that Tinubu himself is helpless. Tinubu cannot dabble into this. He's greater and deeper than he is, than himself. He cannot try it. When you hear military are directly involved, if Tinubu should stretch his boundary, they will take him out. Remember, I told you that Abuja is surrendered. And remember, I told you that if Tinubu is lucky, he's going to run out of Abuja alive. But if he's not lucky, he will go down. So now, this man is writing to Tinubu. This man was a military man who was appointed by the late Muhammadu Buhari's government to investigate the links the links between Boko Haram and the military, and he was busy investigating it until he got himself into trouble. He ran into trouble where they arrested him and sent him to detention facilities where he was kept in detention for 64 days. And on that, immediately they releases him, they retired him. And the Tinubu, Buhari's government was still there. Now, let me read to you. General Ali Kefi, who was forced out of the army for exposing his colleagues' involvement with terror financing, disclosed this in a letter to President Bola Tinubu, which also detailed his arrest, detention, and compulsory retirement. Did you hear that? You would ask yourself, after exposing his colleagues, what happened? Who are those colleagues he exposed that has links with terrorists? And what was the position of the government on this matter? Because the same government contracted him, appointed him to lead this investigation, which he judiciously did, and they came out with conclusion that there are military personnel who are directly involved. Instead of the government to give him protection, he was arrested by the same government. Ha! But let's continue. Former general officer commanding one mechanized division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Ali Kefi, has revealed that terrorism financing, procurement, and movement of arms and ammunition for Boko Haram and other criminal elements have links to the military. Do you remember that this same military that Nigerian citizens, populace, and other stuff are expecting them to fight and quench and eradicate terrorism from the land? Do you remember? Do you know that the same Nigerian military are expected to go after the terrorists, to eradicate them, and rid Nigeria of terrorism? I mean terrorists. Do you understand? Do you now see why terrorists refused to stop in Nigeria? Instead, it is booming. The business of terrorism is booming in Nigeria. It's one of the lucrative business in Nigeria when you are a terrorist, because the military are directly involved. They are the ones procuring arms and ammunition for these terrorists, and they are the ones who are supposed to go and fight those terrorists. And now you come back to ask me, but why is Boko Haram so powerful that even Nigerian military cannot stop them? The only place that they show how powerful they are is in Biafra land. When it comes to Biafra land, you see them with all manner of sophisticated weapons. You see armor tanker. You see all these. You see their Tocano, even the Tocano that America sold to them and told them do not use it to fight outside. Aside fighting Boko Haram, but you see it flying in the airspace of Biafra, bombing our places. But here you are. Now, do you know that this is the reason why terrorist activities refuse to stop in Nigeria? Because the government, the military are directly involved. As long as Fulani people continue to rule, as long as Fulani people continue to control the affairs of Nigeria, let me tell you something. If you are part of one of those who believe that someday, somehow, that Nigeria is going to change and all these things will be in the past, you are a fool. Fulanis and terrorism are 1, 5, and 6. I was saying something the other day in my program. I said, when Fulanis are angry, they are displeased. They do not have time to protest. They go to the bush and mobilize for terrorism. That is how they show how angry they are. the Fulanis showed you how angry they are by engaging and involving in terrorism. Fulanis does not have power to write the government. They don't have power. They don't have the strength to come on the street to protest. Fulanis does not have the strength to have the only way they show how displeased they are is mobilizing for terrorism. They go straight into terrorist acts. That is how they do it. So all these military men in Nigeria that are directly involved supplying those terrorists arms and ammunition, they are all Fulanis. If their names could be written, you will know that they are Fulanis. I will continue to read. General Ali Kefi, who was forced out of the army by exposing his colleagues' involvement with terror financing, disclosed this in a letter to President Bola Tinubu, which also details his arrest, detention, and compulsory retirement. He continues, the most worrisome aspect was that some of the individuals involved in terrorism financing of Boko Haram terrorists, and who were also involved in procurement and movement of arms and ammunition for Boko Haram and other criminal organizations had links with the military, he stated. They have links with the military. Not only Boko Haram, other criminal organizations, other terrorists like terrorist bandits, terrorist herdsmen, Al-Qaeda, ISWAP, they are all same, they're all the same people. Ali Kefi, who headed Operation Service-Wide, OPS, set up by former President Muhammadu Buhari to investigate those involved in terrorism financing, said his arrest, detention, and compulsory retirement followed the reports on his team. Followed the report of his team, which exposed the involvement of senior government officials, a top banker, and the top military brass in terrorism financing. Did you hear that? Top government officials, a top banker, and the top military brass in terrorism financing. These people, how? When you talk about top Shetima, the current government of vice president of Nigeria is one of those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Alhaji Pantami is one of those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. All of them are Fulanis. Top government officials outside the military. So they don't have this racket, this thing only in the military. They also have it in the government. They have banker, a top banker, maybe in Central Bank of Nigeria. Those that will be signing the money and withdrawing the money for them. Let's continue. Ali Kefi, the letter published by this day, revealed that he headed a presidential investigative task force instituted board of inquiry convened by Major General B.M. Mongonu, retired, the former National Security Advisor, NSA, which sat in the office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, for 5 weeks from early January to late February 2020. I was the president of the BOI with members secretary drawn from the NCS, NIS, DSS, NIA, ONS, ONSA, NFIU, as well as from the Board of Inquiry, which largely conducted its works of an investigative body taxed to investigate circumstances surrendering the illegal smuggling of petroleum products contained in 168 oil tankers into Benin Republic through a single smuggling route in Ilesha, Babara, in Kwara State. They are also into oil smuggling rackets. These are the people that is running Nigeria for you. And in the same Nigeria, some people still have hope that Nigeria is going to thrive one day, that Nigeria is going to change one day. When people like this, who have rackets here and there, they have rackets of oil stealing, they have rackets of moving arms, sponsoring terrorists. They just want to be relevant, so they will always place themselves in a relevant position. And if you dare go there, you'll be sorry. If you dare to investigate them, you will be sorry, just like this man is sorry today. I will continue. The petition stated that BOI made a significant discovery regarding the relationship between the smuggling rackets, the terrorism besetting the Northeast, and the banditry, kidnapping for ransom, which was at its formative stage in the Northwest and part of North Central geopolitical zones. You see, when this investigation was going on, these things were only on their formative stage. They have not fully formed. So then, if the right thing was to be done, then they would have subdued them. They would have eradicated it. It wouldn't have gotten to the level where it is today, that already it is out of control. As it is today, kidnapping, banditry, terrorism, all these things are now out of control in Nigeria. And remember what he says, all of them started from the north. Anything that has to do with terrorism must start from the north. Terrorism. And when you come to that north, it is the Fulanese. It must start. That is the formative point. The north. They are the masters in terrorism. I will continue. This, he claimed, included the illegal mining of minerals in the Northwest and North Central, and large-scale laundering of mostly funds meant for counter-terrorism, insurgency operations that were ongoing mostly in the northern region of the country. Did you hear that? Do you know that they have minerals they are mining in the north? You zoo animal, you foolish slave from Biafra land, you Onyofem Manu, do you know that while they were busy selling the oil in our land, using it to fund terrorism, they are also mining their minerals in the north, where your government, my government, your zones, my zones, does not have any partake in it. It is only for the north. For the minerals in the north belongs to the north, but the oil in Bayelsa belongs to the Jigawa. When you talk about this, people from Bayelsa will tell you, no, we are not part of your Biafra. We are happy slaves. Don't include us. But your colleagues, your fellow citizens, your people People you call your compatriots, they have minings where they mine gold in their zones where you cannot even go closer. They use terrorists to surrender that place. You don't dare enter there. They will blow your head off. But the one that is in your land, they will go there, chase you away. The highest they can give you is to employ you as a pipeline guard. You'll be guarding the pipeline for them. While they are busy transporting the oil, the crude oil, to their north. And you tell me you have something here. No, you are a fool. You are a fool, complete fool. Look at it here. They are mining it. Their resources, their mineral resources, they mine it. It does not contribute to the economic of Nigeria. It is strictly for their use. But our own is for our use. The one in our land is for our use. It's a pity. A syndicate, I continue. A syndicate which had an extensive network in the country, as well as being affiliated to international criminal network, was as the center of moving finances for terrorism for other criminal activities stated above. They even have, anyways, it's needless to say, we know they have international affiliation. Yes, yeah, of course. He added, it was thus apparent that terrorism and insurgency in the Northeast, Northwest, and North Central were a criminal enterprise and were largely undertaken with profit rather than any ideology as the primary motive. Thus, we at the BOI arrived at the obvious conclusion that progress cannot be achieved except the financiers, collaborators, supporters, and the leadership of the terrorists and insurgent groups are identified and the network dismantled. Of course. But will they agree? Let's continue to read and know. The petitioner said recommendations on the findings were made and submitted to the presidency, which were swept under the carpet because of the powerful individuals involved. And you want Tinubu to do what? What do you want Tinubu to do? You are asking Tinubu to do what? To go after these powerful individuals. I know that by now your letter is there in the dustbin in Asorok, because Tinubu will not even take a second glance at it. Tinubu cannot dare. I dare Tinubu. He can't. What do you want Tinubu to do? To go after these powerful individuals with international connection, when they would unleash their terrorist international contacts against Tinubu and Nigeria, would you be there? We are writing to him. You should have held the late Muhammadu Buhari's government accountable, not writing to Tinubu. Tinubu is not going to do anything. I will continue to read. The petition said the operation successfully infiltrated. The petition said the operation successfully infiltrated the leadership of terror groups in the Northeast, which culminated in their decimation. adding that key terrorism financiers were linked to the individuals convicted for terror financing in UAE. Did you hear that? Did you hear? They infiltrated the terrorists in the northeast. Then they found out that the key financiers of these terrorists were linked to individuals convicted for terror financing in UAE. So we don't even know if those people are Nigerians or they are UAE citizens, because according to what he's saying, he didn't mention if they are Nigerian citizens or not. But he's also told that these fellows, already the UAE has convicted them of financing terrorism. They want him to go after them. The petitioner noted that trouble started when the task force became victims of unfair attacks, including starvation of funding for its operations. Of course, this substantiates the argument that some powerful persons in and outside government, as well as from the military, were uncomfortable with the task force and specifically my humble self as commander, he said. The petitioner said the death of Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, under whose tenure he served as GOC, dealt a blow to the task force as the new army chief, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, removed him as GOC 1 Mechanized Division, Kaduna. He noted that subsequently, the presidency, the AGF, becomes less helpful. Did you hear? When he got into trouble with those powerful individuals, the government, the presidency, and the Attorney General of Federation becomes less helpful. They turned their back on them. It was all set up. It is called Takia. When they contracted him, it was just a setup because they want to paint a serious picture that they are serious to fight against this insurgency. But it was all a Takia, deceit. But he fell for it and he paid the price. He's lucky to be alive. I continue. According to him, the entire episode culminated in his arrest and detention for 64 days in solitary confinement, where he slept on the floor with consequent health implications. Exactly what they are doing to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. He lamented that the most painful part of his experience was that President Buhari, late, who approved his headship of the task force, did not come for his rescue because Buhari himself, as you may call him, is helpless, was helpless. And they are all the same people. Buhari also was a part of terrorist sponsors in Nigeria. Buhari, he was part of them. He was once recommended by Boko Haram to stand as a mediator. He's part of them. So he, calling you to go and investigate them, should have sent a signal to you that you are being set up. But because you maybe the money you were promised to be paid, or your hunger to prove that you are a strong man, sold you out. Now I will continue. Begging President Tinubu for his intervention on the matter, he said, kindly cause an investigation into the circumstances surrendering my arrest, detention, maltreatment, and compulsory retirement from Nigerian Army. He also sought a review of his compulsory retirement from the Army and that it should be commuted to voluntary retirement, as well as approved compensation for the expenditure incurred by the task force in hiring vehicles and quarters. These should include compensation for the pains and injuries suffered while incarcerated and approved of personal security. He said, this man is trying to ask that everything that he was retired compulsorily, not willing. So every of his right was taken away from him. And now he's writing Tinubu to intervene in this case. But unfortunately, Tinubu is not going to do anything. Because at this case, his hands are tied. That is the Nigeria that you want us to be part of. That is Nigeria that you somehow believe that is going to be well. That is Nigeria that you said that miraculously God is going to intervene someday. Let me tell you something. Nigeria can never be well, because I have made a description some times ago. I said the case of Nigeria is like one traveling to Lagos from Onitsha. You are traveling to Lagos, or rather, you are trying to Abuja from Onitsha. And instead of you to take the road that will lead you to Abuja, you decided to turn and face the east. Abuja is in the north. You face the east. Will you ever get to your destination? The answer is no. In fact, you are going to find yourself in another country. That is the situation of Nigeria. Nigeria is not even in the road. They are not on track. Nigeria is running out of the rails. In Nigeria, impunity is the order of the day. The only thing that will save the people today is disintegration of Nigeria, so that people could go and develop in their own pace. We are better off neighbors doing business peacefully. My only concern is that those of us in this struggle who are supposed to know better failed to recognize the actual danger. Rather, they turn to fight those fighting with them. It is quite unfortunate. I want you to know that as long as you continue to believe that Nigeria will be well, you will pay with your life. The best thing for you to do is to join the struggle. Join the struggle for the restoration of Biafra, for the disintegration of Nigeria, so that people may go and develop in their own pace. As it is today, it's not about what you can do for Nigeria. It's about what I can steal from Nigeria. I thank you, fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom, for listening to me this evening here. I continue to appreciate you. You that is viewing us from the Twitter, you are welcome. I appreciate you that is viewing us from YouTube, you are welcome. And you that is viewing us from Facebook, I appreciate your presence, and I encourage you to continue. And please, if you have not shared this program, please do it now. Share it now. Share the program now. And may we continue to believe that our leader is going to be freed, and is going to be freed very, very soon. I thank you so much, fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Until I come your way again, may Chukwu Okiabema sustain you and keep you alive. From me, from here, it is good night.